chosen to raise revenue through tuition and fees here at the university, and I think we all understand why you made those decisions. But we think there are better ways, more progressive ways to raise revenue for UW. And as a key workforce and as a key constituent, we expect and we need your commitment to work creatively to find other ways to deal with UW's budgetary problems. The number of us who have shown up should demonstrate that we feel the stakes are extremely high right now. And they're not just high for UAW members, we feel they're very high for the entire university and for you.
Look around, I'm sure everybody here seems to care about the university, and I think that's wonderful. If you look around, there are a lot of people here wearing blue. We're all student employees here, many of us graduate students. We've turned out in large numbers because we really care about this. This is really important to us personally, and it's also very important to the university. So, as graduate students, we do a lot of things. We're researchers, we're educators, we're people who are here to try to help the university. We care about what we're doing. Most of us want to improve the world in some way.
I mostly just want to say thanks to all the people who came out today, all the students and workers especially, who came out to show we're not going to accept another unfair budget.
The more that we that grad students like me are able to exist on public funding, the better we can sort of bring about the fundamental changes in science and technology that universities and independent research labs like us have been able to affect in recent years. And this drives the technology-based economy that's emerging.
As a graduate student here, I've seen some of the best minds in the humanities leave for higher paying jobs, and their departments given no negotiating capacity. So my hope and my comment is that the distinguished board will remember in the future that the source of UW's excellence has been its capacity for leadership in the areas of the arts and sciences.
But overall, this kind of, when we're going up against trying to recruit students who are looking at places like USC and Michigan and other top programs in communication, we're really struggling to remain competitive in recruiting those graduate students to this university. So I want to recommend that we just try and keep that in mind, and keep in mind the compensation and the fees and tuition that, as kind of people in this dual role of both student and academic employee, that we struggle with.
About those fees. So as a teaching assistant, which I love my job, like I love working with the students, I have worked for classes that have intensive writing components, and they need the help from TAs with their writing. So while I'm teaching students about how social stratification works, I'm also showing them how to use plural possessives in sentences. This is very time consuming. With activities-based budgeting, there is an incentive for departments to increase the size of their classes, which means that you'll need more TAs to get the same face time. Otherwise, you're going to have a decrease in the skill set, or you're going to have exams that are purely multiple choice questions. I don't know about you, but the Washington state economy is not going to be driven on jobs that use multiple choice questions. They're going to be driven on writing skills, stuff like that. So please support the teaching assistants by allowing a fee waiver. It's over $1,000 that they have to pay to do their jobs.
I'm going to share some stories about a few of the best TAs I've ever had here at the UW. I'm in the public health major, and many of the core required courses are taught by professors who are also doctors or clinicians off campus, and by that nature, they may not be around as much as I need extra help in my classes. That's where valuable TAs come in. I had one TA who was in a class in geography, and it was a writing intensive course, one of the W courses. She had been a TA before and witnessed an increase in the number of students in her workload. Regardless of that, she kindly took time out of her day to give individual writing help. I understand UAW, Nana Auto Workers 4121, is asking for a fee waiver, and TAs like her deserve the T waiver. Give it to them. They are one of the critical workforces of the UW.
And so I just want to make sure that you understand that the dire need of the support of academic student employees for incoming first-generation students and all freshmen, because
for most people, it's the academic student employees, TAs, and advisors and the EOP program. Those are the first people that our students interact with. And it's very important that we support them and that we provide the resources.
Last year, the mantra from the UW administration was, we need to raise your tuition by 20% to preserve academic quality and access. If this was really the case, why would the UW chose to eliminate dozens of graders who provide a much better educational experience for an extremely low cost? Even with the strained budget, the equation just doesn't add up. And what will this mean for next year's budget? Still higher tuition and fees with even less academic quality? The university's priority seems to be misplaced.
I'd like to echo what other people said about student fees. It's not a lot of money, it seems. It's say $300 a quarter or something to enroll here. But for us, that's a lot of money. That's our margin. Most of us who are graduate students here don't have much more than that in disposable income. So once you've paid for everything, you don't have a whole lot left. And that $300 a term might not seem like a lot, but it is. Personally, I'm waiting on my tax return in order to pay those fees this quarter. And hopefully if I live cheaply enough and eat enough ramen, I can pay the fees next quarter.
Today I wrote a check for $381 to the UW for mandatory fees, despite the fact that I have a tuition waiver because I'm an RA. Notice that $381 is 8.5% of my total income for the quarter, an absurd amount of money to pay in mandatory fees. This means that the entire first week of my labor only goes to pay the fee that I am charged to be employed at the University of Washington. If you signed up for any other job in America only to find that your employer would take almost 10% of your pre-tax income in mandatory fees, you would sue them. For some reason, this has been accepted by the UW. I think it is outrageous. I'm furious about these fees that I cannot opt out of, and I demand that you take action to include fees and tuition waivers. Let me be clear. Not only do I want those fees to stop, I want my $5,715 back that I've paid over the past 5 years as an RA and TA. Do you know what $5,715 means to me? It is my entire year of rent. It is more than twice what I paid for my car, and it is my grocery bill for 22 months. When you make RA and TA wages, 10% of your income is not trivial. I don't have 10% spare income or disposable income. I need that money more than the UW does.
But it feels like a lot of the proposals that are being enacted are really focusing more on upper administration, like more management flexibility with the hope of a trickle-down effect for students and student employees. A good example of this may be like the also fee-based programs for grad students. And while that is fine, the trickle-down really isn't happening. We haven't been seeing this trickle-down effect for us at all.
In this department, there's a lot of people talking about how good they used to be. This is a department that used to have some pivotal thinkers in it, and then when the university cut its budget, they lost their ability to attract great talent, attract great graduate students, and when the budget came back, it's very hard to rebuild a program that was good from a lower position. It is much easier to maintain a good program when you have it.
Next year I'll probably have to withdraw as a PhD student. There are many like me in my department who don't have money and can't afford to go on and are demoralized.
I applied to the university with a great reputation, for excellent scholarship and with a reputation for support to its grad students to pursue their research and work with great faculty. The university I'm studying at right now has lost on many of those counts.
These stories that have led our union to, over the past few years, identify and then also take action against those who have run our economy into the ground. Back in the fall, we had a large action against megabanks who were not paying their fair share here in Washington State. And more recently, we've been participating in 99% spring trainings and direct actions that are meant to raise the profile of those who have run our economy into the ground. And so we feel that over the past year, UAW members have been fighting and fighting hard, and we see that as a shared struggle with you to fight for public education.